I'm Brian Antonoli with CDM, and I actually grew up in Butte and been in Montana most all my life. CDM has been working for Grand Hartford for about the last 2 years, providing mainly assistance with the permitting work, some of the environmental studies, and also the metallurgy and the mill design work, and some of the other engineering. What I wanted to talk a little bit about today was just some of the permitting and environmental work that we're doing. For this project in Montana, the way the mining laws are written, you can conduct mining as long as your surface disturbance is less than 5 acres under what's called an SMES, or a small miners exclusion statement. And that really provides a big advantage here for this project, because we'll be able to go underground, say at the Willie or the Nancy Hanks, and mine, and there's really no limit as to the amount of ore that can be mined. Really the limitation is up above ground, and what you do if you have a facility on site that has a tailings pond, then you're limited to 5 acres. Now, an operating permit, if you're going to be over 5 acres, if you're going to have an open pit mine, if you're going to have a milling facility that you're going to have more than 5 acres of disturbance or tailings, that is what would have to be obtained. Currently, and over the last year, we've been gathering the baseline environmental data that is needed to support this operating permit for an application. There's a couple other permits there, or authorizations, that may come into play. One is when we go into the underground workings, and if we encounter groundwater, and we expect we will, that groundwater will have to be pumped out of the mines. We'll have to dewater around the mines, and that water will have to be then brought to surface, and we'll obtain an authorization to discharge that to the land. But it should be a fairly straightforward authorization to receive. The groundwater that is currently there at the mines is essentially has background concentrations of minerals, and that can be discharged to the ground under the state's authorization. Under the future operating permit, of course, there's the environmental baseline data that has to be obtained. You have to develop an operating plan and reclamation plan, some environmental documents, post a reclamation bond, and primarily that is a kind of a drawn out procedure. The main thing that the state is concerned about is impacts to water. The one real advantage that the Garnett project has is that it's really up on top of a divide. It's really at the very headwaters of these streams, so it's a very good location from that standpoint. Also, really there's no known threatened or endangered species that will impact these studies. No wilderness or federal parks adjacent to or nearby, or tribal lands. We have good local support in Granite County, which is a mining county. There is good support from the county. And Grand Hartford Company has done a tremendous job just developing these relationships over the past few years.